Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of November 28th. Lots of cool little stuff to talk about this week, but let's get started as normal with the Mythic Plus affixes for this week. This week we have Fortified, Volcanic, and Spiteful. Again, that's Fortified, Volcanic, and Spiteful. I project this to be a week where we're going to see some really high keys pushed. Spiteful's going to slow down your group a little bit, especially if you have melee. But for like high-end groups or groups that don't really utilize melee that much, or just even a group that smartly plays around it, trapping all the spitefuls in different ways, you're going to see some really high keys push this week. I would project very high for early in the season, but of course with the crest system, we do get our gear faster, right? Upgraded, so you see these keys pushed a little bit earlier in the season, even last season, than normal. I predict we're going to see some very high keys pushed this week in particular. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in game, out of game a little bit, just in general for this week. We'll start with the normal stuff. We still have WoW's anniversary going on, so you can still take advantage of the extra experience. If you head down to the scenarios, you get the free mount basically for killing the world boss that's there. Kill the big Doomwalker guy, and you'll get basically like an icy version of Deathwing kind of mount, and it's a 100% drop chance. So you can grab that. We do have time walking this week as well. We do have like I said, time walking, and we also have PvP Brawl Comp Stomp. If you're really up needing to get some honor and stuff like that, you can go ahead and do that. And then as towards the end of the week, we'll have the Darkmoon Fair coming back once again at the very end of the week. But yeah, as we get into December. But you can go ahead and get there for your profession knowledges, for more experience, more reputation, the normal stuff with Darkmoon Fair. And it does appear even more Darkmoon Fair assets have been found. And it does appear that in some way, shape, or form, we're going to be getting a Darkmoon Fair revamp, which I had seen before in some interview or something. But it seems more and more confirmed that's going to happen, which is really cool. Other than that, so probably the highlight of last week to talk about was, first of all, the raid is really good. Most people just love the raid in general, and people got to fully jump into the raid really this past week. And the race to world first, which Echo won. Congratulations to Echo. Liquid killed it a few hours later, like 6 hours later, something like that. But hours later. And congratulations to them, like I said. But it was really cool to watch. So I'm not really big into esports in general. I'm not big into Twitch and anything like that. But I was riveted. I had it on even when I couldn't watch it. I still had it on. And I had on I had on like the Echo esports stream and the Liquid stream. And I was watching them back and forth. They were so close for a while there before Echo finally won. It was very good. The raid itself seems very good. It seems very it seems scaled more correctly in a way. The first bosses are very inviting to people who want to jump into mythic raiding, which I always think is good. And then the last couple bosses are going to be really hard, and then they'll probably end up nerfing them over time, some of those mechanics. But I kind of like that, right? Have the last boss or the last two bosses be really hard, and have the beginning bosses maybe be more suitable for people who are just stepping into Mythic, even if it's then going to be easy for people who are more used to Mythic. I kind of like that. So far I'm enjoying the raid a lot. We cleared Heroic AOCC first week, and then we did Thanksgiving was on one of our raid nights this week. So we did normal and Heroic on Tuesday, and then we stepped into Mythic with on our optional night. We had just enough people. We had 20 people online, and we were able. It wasn't maybe all of our A tier players or whatever necessarily, but we're missing one of our slotted in tanks, but our previous tank was on, so it wasn't a big deal. But his gear is not made for tanking. Just in that way, I'm not really crapping on any of my raiders that were there. I'm just saying, like, we didn't have our exact team basically, but we're still able to go through and kill the first three bosses on Mythic and get progression onto the council as well, learn a little bit about that fight ourselves. And so that was really fun as well. So I had a lot done, did a lot of Mythic Plus. I already almost have my score of last season in Mythic Plus just from 2 weeks, here. So, generally speaking, just fully enjoying these this first bit of the patch here, and really enjoying everything about it. Really, I think everything's hitting pretty well. As always, I said this in the last patch too. As always, as time goes on, there's going to be some complaints here, some complaints there. Why is this not tuned? Why is this dungeon not nerfed? Why is this dungeon so easy? Why is this raid boss not nerfed yet? We're going to get into the complaints later, but it's really important for the first couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks of a patch, for it to be super enjoyable, and I definitely think that is the case here. I know it is for me, and it looks like from some of the data, a lot of that's kind of like what the data is saying as well, as far as people enjoying this patch. So I think that's really, really good. We saw World of Warcraft be the #1 game on Twitch. It almost surpassed Just Chatting on Twitch at one point, and was the #1 game during the Race to World First, like the height of it. We also have, obviously, Classic, Hardcore still going strong, and we have Season of Mastery coming out on the 30th. I will be trying that out. If I end up really liking it and playing with my guildmates, and therefore having a little bit more fun, I could post some content of Season of Mastery. I started off streaming a little bit of my hardcore character and then gave up on that quickly. It just doesn't really grip me in that much. The Season of Mastery might, or the Season of Discovery, I'm sorry, might, with like the new raids and stuff like that they're putting in. So maybe, so if I do engage in that content, I will put some of that out there. I'll probably just play Rat Paladin or something like that, just for fun. And also, speaking of Ret Paladins, obviously I have my guide out. Thanks to all the support for the guide. I'm really happy with it overall. It seems like I was pretty much correct on everything. I think I will go back and address the trinkets, which I said in the guide, because I do think some of the trinkets might be a little bit different, as I kind of predicted. Not necessarily the trinkets that I thought would be different, but I'll probably readdress trinkets at some point, because there is some variance there that we're seeing now that people actually have their hands on it and can, mass test it in real life, or really in game, and not only through like simulations and stuff like that. And so, but overall, I'm very happy with it. Did a rotation helper video, very happy with that. I'll have more Rat Paladin videos coming as well, especially as we get more data. I want to go through and maybe do like a boss by boss talent build and like situational thing for each boss. I think that's something I've flirted with doing before. I kind of, the biggest reason why I don't is because by the time my guild gets to like the last couple bosses, it's not really relevant content anymore. But I could definitely, and maybe I only do it for the first 4 or 5 bosses then, or something like that, right? Because I want to have done it myself and be able to speak from experience. I can look at logs and give and pretty much decipher that. I can look at logs and like paint a picture with that, but I kind of want to do it myself, kind of thing. I think there's no better experience than firsthand experience. So yeah, overall, like I said, patch is great. Everything's going great right now. We got a new season of Discovery coming out on Classic, and I mean the Race to World First was great. WoW is very cool right now. Who knows how long that'll last, right? A lot of WoW players are in their 30s, some are in their 40s, of course some are in their 20s, and there's even some people in their teens, believe it or not, and there's even some kids of people like me who play. But right now it's kind of cool. World of Warcraft is kind of cool, and I think that's kind of cool, even if it doesn't last long, right? It doesn't have to last forever. It'll never be as cool as it was in like 2006 or whatever, 2005, 2006 area. And I guess even cooler during Wrath, that had more players, so like 2010 or whatever. But it's kind of neat to see it up there for a little bit. So that's it for this one, guys. Super happy, super excited. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. And other than that, everybody have a good one.